Yeah.
Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, bringing you our 2022 NCAA Tournament Predictions. We have already filled out a handful of our brackets, and this is one that we feel relatively confident about going into the round of 64 on Thursday. But as you can see, guys, we're not predicting every single game up here because if we did that, this video would last forever. It would be extremely long. So we are starting in the Elite Eight and going all the way to the championships. We will be sharing with you who we believe wins the NCAA tournament, but we're only starting today with the Elite Eight. Before we dive into that, guys, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. We touched on Bracket Busters yesterday. We're talking on our predictions today. We're going to pick up the football content back up tomorrow and carry us through really all the way until June, with the exception of the one day that we talk about the Final Four, and hopefully we'll predict our Final Four correctly. But please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, guys, because all those things help build our channel up, help us continue to bring you this content 24/7, not just for college basketball, but primarily for college football. We'd really appreciate all of your support and having you on our Gridiron Expert team. So let's go ahead and start over in the West region. We've got Gonzaga, the number 1 overall seed, the favorite for many to win the entire tournament, taking on the 3 seed in Texas Tech. We have the Bulldogs taking down Memphis in the round of 32, then Arkansas in the Sweet 16. We have Texas Tech getting past Alabama in the round of 32, and then upsetting Duke in the Sweet 16. You look at this matchup, guys. Gonzaga, they beat Texas Tech earlier in the year. The Bulldogs took down the Red Raiders by 14 earlier this year, and they are just loaded with talent once again under their head coach and Mark Few. You've got Drew Timme, you've got Chet Holmgren, a team that scores nearly 88 points per game while allowing just 65 points per game. Gonzaga, when you look at all the metrics, is pretty much at the top. Offensive efficiency, defensive efficiency, rebounds, scoring. They are, without a doubt, the best tournament in this team. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win it all, but when you look at the complete body of work, they are the best team in this tournament. Texas Tech, you look at them, they are a team that has thrived on defense. So even after the departure of Chris Beard, they are a team that has still thrived on defense, allowing just 60.3 points per game. I put them up there as one of the better defensive teams in this tournament. And I think because of that, you're going to see a much closer game between Gonzaga and Texas Tech. I don't think it'll be determined by double digits, but I don't have faith in the Red Raiders to score at a pace like Gonzaga can. I don't have faith in their offense to keep up with the Bulldogs. Gonzaga, for us, will advance to the Final Four. They will take on the winner of UCLA, the 4 seed, and Kentucky, the 2 seed. We have the Bruins beating St. Mary's, that 4-5 matchup in the round of 32, and the Bruins taking down the number 1 seed in the East in Baylor, have them taking down Baylor, and then we have Kentucky taking down Murray State, and then Purdue in the Sweet 16. So we do not see Baylor coming out of here as the 1 seed. Baylor going to fall in the Sweet 16 in our eyes. A team that has won the national championship last year but has struggled a little bit this year, they will fall short in the Sweet 16. If they somehow make it to the Elite Eight, we have them losing there as well. Because regardless, guys, we're going to have Kentucky winning this game over UCLA. I believe the Bruins can hang in this game. Size-wise, they match up very well with Kentucky. The Bruins only have one starter that is under 6'7". So they're huge. They're built like a national championship squad. You got Johnny Juzang leading the team, averaging over 76 points per game. Juzang, the leading scorer. You've got a defense here allowing under 65 points per game on the year. But Kentucky has arguably the best player in the country in Oscar Tshiebwe, who is averaging 17 points per game, an absolute force in the paint, not just offensively, but defensively as well. 5 players are averaging double-digit points. 5 players are averaging over 10 points per game. I do think Kentucky needs a little bit of guard help. They want to play through Tshiebwe, and rightfully so, but they need help outside of him. They need their guards to step up, especially in a game that can be close and competitive like this one. In the end, I think in one that comes down to the wire, Kentucky gets past UCLA in what I think is a very even matchup, and the Wildcats will take on Gonzaga in the Final Four. We'll touch on that in a second. Over in the South, another 1-3 matchup. Arizona, the 1 seed, taking on the 3 seed in Tennessee. Arizona, we have them defeating TCU in the round of 32, and then Houston in the Sweet 16. Tennessee getting past Colorado State and Villanova, both in the round of 32 and the Sweet 16. Just like Gonzaga, Texas Tech, this is a rematch from a game earlier in the year where Arizona lost to Tennessee by 4. So the Volunteers took down the Wildcats early in the year, back in December, by 4 points. But I would go out there and argue right now that Arizona, outside of Gonzaga, is the most complete team in this tournament. If you're looking for the two most complete teams, to me, it is Arizona and Gonzaga. The Wildcats are averaging 84.6 points per game. They are huge size-wise. They share the ball extremely well. They probably are the best team in this tournament when it comes to sharing the ball and assisting each other, playing as a team. Benedict Mathurin, 17.4 points per game. He is the big-time playmaker for Arizona, and I believe Tennessee is going to have a relatively tough time stopping him. Tennessee is a team, guys, that relies heavily on the three ball. They shoot 36% from three-point range on the year. You got a guy like Kennedy Chandler, who's played extremely well, Santiago Vescovi, who's played extremely well. But if they can't shoot the ball, if they struggle from beyond the arc, they're going to struggle as a whole. You know, some teams can struggle from beyond the arc, but can make up for it in the paint, make up for two-point shots, drawing fouls. I don't think Tennessee's going to be able to do that, especially not against Arizona. So we have Arizona taking down the Volunteers and advancing to the Final Four. That's two number 1 seeds and a number 2 seed so far. Then you go into the Midwest. We've got Kansas, another 1 seed, taking on the 3 seed in Wisconsin. Kansas, we have them getting past Creighton in the round of 32, then getting past Iowa in the Sweet 16. Wisconsin, we have them beating Colgate, LSU, and Auburn. And I would say, guys, that Wisconsin, being at a 3 seed, they have a relatively easy path to the Elite 8. They should be able to get past Colgate. They were going to take on an LSU team that just fired Will Wade, and if LSU were to lose to Iowa State, even better for the Badgers. I believe they get past Iowa State easier than they do LSU. And then they take on an Auburn team that, yes, is a 2 seed that has, for the most part, been the number 1 team in the country for most of this year, but has struggled mightily away from home and kind of fizzled out towards the end of this season. The Wisconsin guys, do not be surprised to see them all the way in the Elite 8 and maybe even to the Final Four. You look at Kansas. This is a team that never really seems to get over the hump. Every year is a 1 seed. Every year has high expectations. Can't get to that national championship under Bill Self. I'm not feeling that it's going to change again this year. They have Agbaji on their team, averaging only 20 points per game, shooting 40.5% from three-point range. You got Christian Braun shooting 50.3% from the field. This is the Kansas team that's loaded with talent. But then when you look at what Wisconsin has, and the way they play basketball, what their style of play, to me, Wisconsin has that slight advantage. You've got a guy in Johnny Davis. If he can stay healthy, averaging nearly 20 points per game, is going to carry this Badgers team. Wisconsin, to me, goes as far as Johnny Davis goes. But Brad Davison is there. Chucky Hepburn is there. They've got a trio of players and really a great starting 5 that not only can score the ball and knows how to share the ball well, but for me, plays extremely good defense, as the Badgers only allow 66.5 points per game, and they rank in the top 50 in both offensive and defensive efficiency. Don't let the 2 bad losses at the end of the year to Nebraska and Michigan State fool you for Wisconsin. This is still a team that beat Houston, beat Purdue twice, beat Iowa, beat St. Mary's. All of those teams in this tournament, every single one of those teams, at least a top 5 seed. I've got Wisconsin upsetting Kansas in the Elite 8, which means your Final Four will be Gonzaga versus Kentucky and Arizona versus Wisconsin. That is who we have in our Final Four. And we'll touch on those very quickly. Gonzaga, Kentucky. This is where, to me, the guard play comes into play for Kentucky. Ultimately, is Kentucky's downfall. Because Gonzaga knows how to push the tempo. They are one of the fastest-paced teams in this tournament. Again, Kentucky could hang with them if their guards could show up. Again, it's not just the Oscar Tshiebwe show. They need more help outside of him. And I think also when it comes to size advantages, when it comes to paint presence, Gonzaga's got maybe just as much, if not double, what Kentucky has. They're going to be able to shut down Oscar Tshiebwe, and Gonzaga will beat Kentucky and go back to the national championship for the 3rd time in the last 5 years under Mark Few. Arizona, Wisconsin. To me, this would be the better of the 2 Final Four matchups if this is how it plays out. Arizona, to me, though, guys, is just a little bit too big, a little bit too physical for Wisconsin. When you look from a size-wise and when you look from the offensive standpoint, Arizona owns the clear-cut edge. The Wildcats averaging nearly 85 points per game. Wisconsin only averaging about 71 points per game. That is a 14-point differential there. Not saying that's how the game's going to go, but when you look at it on paper, I truly believe that Arizona would be able to take down Wisconsin. I believe that Wisconsin's defense is enough to keep the game close, but Arizona's offense ends up being the difference maker, which means our national championship is Gonzaga versus Arizona. Yes, 2 1 seeds, It can happen, has happened plenty of times before. 2 1 seeds here, Gonzaga and Arizona. As we mentioned earlier, we believe these are the 2 most complete teams in this tournament. And I believe Arizona matches Gonzaga extremely well. That's why this will be such a great national championship game. Mathurin can handle Timmy or Holmgren. Gonzaga and Arizona can both score at a very quick pace and know how to push the tempo. So this isn't, to me, a battle where it's one great offensive team versus one great defensive team. Stacked up against each other, these 2 teams are just about even. But ultimately, guys, I believe that Arizona will be one of the more physical teams that Gonzaga has faced. And I believe that, similar to last year, Gonzaga is going to meet their match in the national championship game. And for the 3rd time in the last 5 years, Gonzaga will fall in the national championship game to the Arizona Wildcats. Arizona wins the national championship over the Bulldogs 87-82. That's what we're putting in there. And the Wildcats will be your 2022 national champions. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Again, go get those brackets in. The tournament starts on Thursday. Of course, they could all be busted by the end of day 1, but that is the beauty of March. We'll be back here with more basketball coverage in a few weeks to discuss the Final Four, see if we were right or way wrong. But tomorrow, we will be back with our college football content, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Again, guys, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, help us build our channel, help us grow, become a part of our Gridiron Expert team. And once again, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.